My name is McKenzy Stilger, and I am a sophomore studying nursing at Indiana University Bloomington. Before I began nursing school, I never considered the importance and meaning of a nurse's professional identity. Now, after almost completing my first semester of nursing school, I understand that the professional identity of a nurse relies on responsibility, autonomy, and accountability. The professional identity that a nurse carries involves treating everyone with respect and civility and also presenting yourself in a positive way. Nurses enable interprofessional practice by implementing this professional practice with their patients and also with other nurses as well. I learned that as a professional nurse, I would be responsible for completing the nursing process, which includes assessment, diagnosis, planning, implementation, and evaluation. By fulfilling this nursing process with each patient and holding other nurses accountable for the same process, each nurse would support and permit the interprofessional practice. During the communication simulation, I learned that effective communication skills require practice and also reflection. While participating in the simulation, I was able to practice these professional skills and strategies, but I was also given the opportunity to reflect on my strengths and weaknesses towards communication. Professionalism in nursing also enables optimal outcomes for the patient, staff, and organization as a whole because it requires the nurse to gain responsibility and independence with all people. In order to achieve accountability and independence, a nurse must meet the needs of their patients by actively listening and clarifying what they observed and heard. Also, a nurse must remain assertive, which does not allow for him or her to become aggressive or passive. The many examples that I learned on how a professional nursing role can enable optimal outcomes for patients and other coworkers developed after Dr. Knabel's presentation. It was not until he shared the story of losing a patient where I began to understand my role as a nurse. From his presentation, I learned that nurses must communicate and never to be afraid of their role towards patients to promote good health. We as nurses can become healers, but it is up to us to realize our professional identity to achieve this goal. With actively listening, clarifying, promoting good health, and not being afraid of your professional role, nurses acquire effective communication because they are able to put the patient's needs first. During Dr. Knabel's presentation, he said that some of the best nurses he knows are the ones that acquire all of these characteristics. With communication, we must remember that there are always two ways to each situation, and we cannot allow ourselves to be consumed by our own personal beliefs and opinions. For my plan to develop more effective communication skills, I will try to become less defensive when communicating with others. With my personality, I hold on to things that have upset me. From Dr. Knabel's presentation, I realized that I must let some things go in order to give myself the full drive and motivation to learn new things. By not letting things bother me, I will continue to communicate with other nurses and patients effectively, and will continue to never be afraid to ask questions. With my time spent in nursing school, I have realized that my ability to become a natural leader can sometimes overtake my communication skills by not fully listening to others. With this, I will remain open to others' opinions and participate in active listening to promote efficient communication. From this class and from the time I have spent in nursing school, I will try to always remember my role as being a professional nurse. One thing that I would like to take away is my strengths and weaknesses towards communication. After taking the Enneagram personality assessment, my dominant personality type was Type 1, the Reformer. With this personality type, I am motivated to be right and to achieve the highest level in any subject, but I fear to be condemned and/or proven wrong. By completing the Enneagram personality assessment, I have learned that becoming a nurse in the future will require me to remain patient so that I can see both sides to every situation. Another learning experience that I would like to take away is the time I participated in a role play situation for class. At first, I was so embarrassed that I did not understand what I should do in that situation, but later remembered that our time in nursing school and even after that is a learning experience. I will always remember that we are nurses that are constantly being put in all types of situations in order to grow as healthcare providers. In conclusion, I must remember my initial calling to be a nurse and to always soar above and beyond my dreams and expectations with this profession. Again, my name is McKenzy Stilger. Thank you for listening.